that. Like, I literally said my literal words were, no, I do not support people's mistakes. I support their growth in the future, moving forward, becoming better people, rather than holding them down like you're trying to, making them stay as that same person, you know what I mean? Like,
Nathan, now I know that you know that accountability is central to that future growth that you're referring to. So if that is what you're actually passionate about and concerned about, that means you should be holding Shane to account for the threats that he made. And you even used the word threats. And they are threats. They are veiled threats. Again, that's a fact. I know Shane is defending that they're just statements, but that is a perpetrator's toolkit, is to reframe their behaviours. But we know that leveraging location, children and these sorts of things are a tool of coercive control. Again, we know that. That is a fact. There won't be a discussion in my comments about this, and this is specifically to you, Shane, because I'm going to tag you. This is not up for debate. What you did is, in fact, a threat, a veiled threat, because we all understood the undertone beneath it. Now, you can try to deny that as much as you want, but it is what it is, okay? But Nathan, if you are actually concerned about supporting Shane's future growth, you need to pin accountability at the bottom. It needs to underpin everything, because again, we know from the research, the scholarship, the academia, that behavior change, one of the central tenets is accountability. So if you were actually passionate about that, you would actually be holding him to account rather than providing excuses and victim blaming, which we're going to get to.
this girl, all right, so he made a threat to her, whatever, he finally snapped, you know, but you poke a bear long enough, they're gonna fucking snap.
Now, Nathan, you and I both know again that what you just did is a victim blaming terminology. Again, not up for debate, because any concepts or any terminology, any framing of you poked someone when the victim has been threatened, but you poked it, that is victim blaming terminology. What did you do to make this happen to you? No, people are in control of their own decisions. Shane is in control of his own decisions. He chose to send those messages. No one forced him to do that.
Doesn't mean that they mean them, and she knows, she obviously feels safe because she went out and plastered all over TikTok. You know, she just kept poking and poking and poking.
You don't know that people don't mean their threats. You are not the god of deciding when a threat is and isn't real. A threat is real if the victim feels that it is real. To try to come over the top of that, again, is a form of victim blaming. And I know you know this, Nathan. I am not going to treat you like an idiot and pretend that you don't know that. You do know that, but there is an ulterior motive as to why you're pretending you don't know that.
You know, she just kept poking and poking and poking like you're doing now. You literally said in one of your comments, I'd advise you to stay away from him. It's dangerous, or some bullshit like that. So I clicked on your page. First thing I seen is you posting him. What the fuck? So you obviously know it's safe. She knows it's safe.
Also, the idea that you cannot be fearful and post online is not mutually exclusive, and that is ridiculous that you're even suggesting that. Again, I don't believe you believe that, though. I believe there is an ulterior motive to why you were framing what you were talking about the way that you are, and we will get to that. But of course, someone can be fearful and still post things online. That's for multiple reasons. Social media and platforms like that are useful in creating community around people that have similar experiences, sharing those experiences for joint safety, and to recording your experiences. Obviously, things live in the cloud and they get shared around. There's that digital footprint, right? So again, someone can be fearful and still have an online presence. To pretend otherwise is silly.
She shouldn't have messaged him. She shouldn't have provoked him.
Again, here is our victim blaming terminology. She shouldn't have provoked him. She is not in control of Shane. Shane is a full-grown man. Shane can decide how he behaves and what he writes. No one made him do that. Positioning a victim as having done something to result in what's happened to them is victim blaming. Again, this is not up for debate. I will not be having a debate about this in the comments. This is a fact. This is how this is just the truth of it. There's a plethora of information and research and scholarship and academia out there for you to access about victim blaming terminology. Again, I don't believe you don't know that though. I know you know that, and I think your ulterior motive is supporting that behavior for some reason. Now, I'm not going to guess what that reason might be, but there is an ulterior motive in terms of why you are framing your language the way that you are. And that is probably for you to go and reflect on why you feel so defensive about this topic and why you are using and engaging in harmful language.